The existence of qi allows us to transform from mere lifeless bodies into conscious beings with souls. However, due to the law of energy conservation, the qi within each of us gradually diminishes over time, leading us to face aging and mortality. Only a select few humans can recognize and learn to manipulate this energy within their own bodies. In the eyes of ordinary people, these individuals possess extraordinary abilities. Within their own circles, they refer to themselves as the others. Guided by their grandfather, Zhang Chulan grew up as one of these others, but his identity remained hidden to avoid exposure. Everything changed due to an unexpected event. The graves in Zhang Chulan's village were all dug up, and most significantly, the body of his grandfather, Zhang Chulan, had disappeared. At this moment, an outsider, a girl claiming to be Zhang Chulan's granddaughter, appeared. The local police quickly realized something was amiss. Zhang Chulan was the only known grandchild, studying away from the village. It seemed impossible for this girl to be related to Zhang Chulan. However, she knew intricate details about Zhang's family, including their names and marital status. She even mentioned Zhang Chulan's age when his grandfather was murdered. A year later, Zhang Chulan's father, Zhang Yu, abandoned him at an orphanage, disappearing from his life. The girl insisted that her mother was Zhang Yu's mistress and provided identification to verify her claim. Zhang Chulan received a call while still half asleep, informing him that his grandfather's grave had been desecrated and revealing news about his father. Despite wet pants, he rushed back home. The shock of his father's actions was compounded by the revelation of a newfound sister. However, Song, the local officer, advised Zhang Chulan not to react impulsively, considering the girl's testimony. A phone call confirmed the existence of Feng Baobao, Zhang Chulan's half-sister, living with an outsider. Determined to uncover the truth, Zhang Chulan headed to the guest house where Feng Baobao was staying. The owner informed him that she had left after dark and hadn't returned. Zhang Chulan speculated on her whereabouts and decided there was only one place she could be. As he approached his grandfather's grave, he heard the sound of digging. To his astonishment, Feng Baobao was there, shovel in hand. Zhang Chulan began taking photos with his phone, startling her. She chased him, but he managed to escape. However, when he regained consciousness, he found himself surrounded by corpses. Feng Baobao had killed one of them. Still half asleep, Zhang Chulan tried to reassure himself. But then she dragged his body away. Zhang Chulan questioned her intentions, and she calmly replied that she would bury him. She had already dug a grave for him. Zhang Chulan found himself in the pit, and Feng Baobao explained that she had witnessed too much. Exhausted, she couldn't bear it anymore. As she buried him, Zhang Chulan realized that his sister was truly peculiar. He pleaded with her, disregarding pride or honor, but she remained unfazed. Her final words echoed eerily, "I don't recognize your father. My ID is fake." The sound of the shovel continued in the desolate graveyard, punctuated by desperate cries for help. Feng Baobao dug a pit for Zhang Chulan, intending to bury him alive. However, suddenly, a large group of zombies appeared behind her. The image of Feng Baobao wielding a kitchen knife to fend off the zombies shattered Zhang Chulan's worldview. Remember Zhang Chulan's expression at this moment, fear and nervousness. He tried to reassure himself that it was all a dream. Like a fool, he shouted, "I won't be confused anymore." When he woke up, he found himself face to face with Baobao, who scolded him for being foolish. After the scolding, Feng Baobao left, leaving Zhang Chulan to laugh it off. The swarm of zombies, now without Feng Baobao as their target, naturally closed in on Zhang Chulan. Initially panicked, his expression gradually changed as Feng Baobao moved away. Just then, Feng Baobao encountered the arriving leader, Shu San. She reported everything about Zhang Chulan's missing body, the ambush, and Zhang Chulan's situation. Shu San had always believed Zhang Chulan was an ordinary person, but now he grew anxious. If Zhang Chulan were in danger, Shu San couldn't entrust Baobao with handling the aftermath. Unbeknownst to him, this was all part of Feng Baobao's plan. Firm in his belief that Zhang Chulan was an other, Shu San decided not to intervene directly. As expected, when they arrived at the scene, Zhang Chulan had already escaped. Surveying the corpses strewn about, Shu San calmly asked Feng Baobao, "Baobao, did you attend college?" Baobao was about to assume a new identity, and everything was about to change. Zhang Chulan's fate intertwined with Feng Baobao's. The next day, as Zhang Chulan returned to school, he received a call from Officer Song. Unlike before, Zhang Chulan no longer held Song in high regard. He claimed to be just a student who knew nothing and expressed frustration that Song couldn't uncover anything. He declared he wouldn't rely on him anymore. However, this was all to protect Song, who was an ordinary person. Zhang Chulan knew his grandfather's situation was far from simple, and further investigation could endanger Song's life. Just then, Feng Baobao sat down next to him. Zhang Chulan's face turned dark, and he blurted out, "Who's that?" Song lost his temper, and Zhang Chulan explained that he was just feeling uncomfortable. Feng Baobao instructed him not to ask anything and attend class. Later, in the school forest, Zhang Chulan questioned Feng Baobao's intentions. She introduced herself as her new identity, Shu Baobao, an exchange student from Taiwan. However, it was clear she hadn't fully remembered her new persona, and her Sichuan dialect betrayed her lies. Zhang Chulan didn't want to argue further, but Feng Baobao disagreed. She called their leader to confirm. The leader approved her arrangement. Feng Baobao then solemnly told Zhang Chulan, "From today, you're my slave." Zhang Chulan thought she'd lost her mind, but he decided to report her to the police. Feng Baobao asked him to wait and demonstrate the survival skills he'd used to escape the zombies the other night. Feng Baobao was so certain because she'd sensed Zhang Chulan's unique energy during their first encounter. As the truth unraveled, Zhang Chulan dropped the act. This would be the first time he revealed his abilities to an outsider. In this world, there exists a group of extraordinary individuals who are born with the innate ability to manipulate chi within their own bodies. From a young age, the boy learned to control chi under the guidance of his grandfather and father. However, their family's martial arts skills were not to be used against outsiders. The boy once used his chi to playfully spar with other children, and as a result, his father scolded him while his grandfather considered moving away. Despite the frequent relocations, Zhang Chulan grew accustomed to this lifestyle. Yet, one question continued to haunt him. Was he truly his father's biological son? Other families might discipline their children with belts or rolling pins, but Zhang Chulan's father's beating technique was precise and brutal. Fortunately, his grandfather cherished Zhang Chulan and hoped to see his grandson lead a normal life. If there were a way, he would have preferred Zhang Chulan to be born into a different family. But Zhang Chulan had no choice. Even if it meant coercion, he had to master these skills and use them sparingly. His grandfather explained that in the martial world, people feared those who stood out too much. If you were too wicked or too weak, they would crush you. If you were too powerful, they would suppress and distance themselves from you. Only when you blended in seamlessly would they accept you without suspicion. Thus, Zhang Chulan learned this lesson early on under his grandfather's guidance. At the age of 7, he had already cultivated a protective golden aura. However, for 12 years, he had never used it. He once asked his grandfather when he could finally employ this skill. His grandfather's response was simple: "Use it to save your life, my foolish grandson." Recalling his grandfather's words, Zhang Chulan reactivated the golden light within him after 12 years. The catalyst for this revelation was none other than Feng Baobao. Both unleashed their full power, charging at each other. Feng Baobao's first move was a kick, but Zhang Chulan's golden aura shielded him. He caught Feng Baobao's foot and flung her away. Closing the gap, Zhang Chulan prepared to disarm her before anything else. Meanwhile, on the other side, the group of people who unearthed Zhang Xilin's remains revealed their true identities. To their surprise, it was a bespectacled young boy who had sent the seemingly lifeless corpse. His purpose was to utilize his unique abilities to extract fragments of Zhang Xilin's soul from within the body. The animated corpse carried out these actions in hopes of joining their organization. However, the young boy expressed dissatisfaction with the effectiveness of the remains, thus rejecting the offer. According to the animated corpse, during his mission, he encountered Zhang Xilin's grandson and a woman brandishing a kitchen knife. The boy warned him not to provoke the woman. However, he was tasked with bringing Zhang Xilin's grandson back, regardless of the consequences. In order to gain acceptance into their ranks, the animated corpse had no choice but to trust the boy once more. As he departed, a woman's voice echoed behind him. As it turned out, the boy's name was Lu Liang. The woman questioned why he hadn't revealed the true method of joining their group, a lineage directly connected to the corpse-raising traditions of Shangxi. With those words, the woman leaned over Lu Liang, sinking her teeth into his ear, expressing her desire to extract all the bad water from his body. Lu Liang found this position quite uncomfortable and quickly tried to steer the conversation back to business. Although the old man's body could still yield something, it would be a laborious process and he might need some time. The woman, amused by his words, parted her legs and straddled Zhang Xilin's remains. Despite the old man having passed away many years ago, she could still sense his fiercely potent energy. She regretted not being born in that era. Otherwise, she would have thoroughly enjoyed the boundless vigor he possessed. At this time, Zhang Chulan on the other side was already lying on the ground. The golden light that he had practiced for many years to protect his body was chopped into pieces. Not only that, it seemed like something else was also broken into pieces. Feng Baobao also discovered something on Zhang Chulan's penis. He threatened Zhang Chulan to be his slave or make him famous in school. Zhang Chulan didn't expect Feng Baobao to be able to see that thing, but he wasn't afraid because others couldn't see it. Feng Baobao knew that others couldn't see the thing, and that he was a virgin. Everyone else knew, but what they didn't know was that Zhang Chulan couldn't even get an erection. Sister Bao, little Zhang Chulan will be your slave from now on. You can do whatever you want, but don't treat me like a human being. Zhang Chulan knelt down instantly. Feng Baobao said, "It's not Sister Bao. Call me Master." Then he gave Zhang Chulan a phone and said he would use this to contact him in the future. After saying that, Sister Bao left, and because Zhang Chulan had no clothes, she could only hide here until dark before going back. Sister Bao said that he had the skills to avoid others' sight anyway. In this way, Zhang Chulan hid in the tree until dark. When it was completely dark, Zhang Chulan activated the golden light in his body and turned it into a shooting star. But by coincidence, a couple taking photos under the moon happened to capture him flashing across the sky. After that day, as this photo circulated on the university's online forum, the inexplicable events at South University increased from 7 to 8. The mysterious figure with the snow-white buttocks, known as the gluteus luminary, danced across the night sky. Rumor has it that couples who catch a glimpse of the gluteus luminary are destined for a passionate night together. Desires. When first encountered, Shahe rode atop the skeletal remains of Zhang Chulan's grandfather. Later, Shahe sought to claim Zhang Chulan's virginity. His unique ability allowed him to sense the same latent power within Zhang Chulan as his grandfather possessed, yet without any leakage. This piqued Shahe's curiosity, leading him to explore Zhang Chulan further. Initially entranced, Zhang Chulan abruptly awakened when faced with Shahe's provocative advances. Surprisingly, Zhang Chulan's guardian sand remained unresponsive. This indicated Shahe's genuine intent to engage in intimate activities. Fortunately, intervention by Lu Liang prevented any untoward actions. Lu Liang's extraordinary ability allowed direct inquiry into other souls. However, during his search for Zhang Chulan's soul, an unexpected projectile hurtled toward him. Swiftly evading the attack, Lu Liang discovered an ordinary stone embedded in a tree, a projectile launched by none other than Feng Baobao, accompanied by Shu San. Upon seeing Baobao, Zhang Chulan felt as though he'd found a lifeline. The ensuing battle between the two sides was imminent. Shu San, familiar with Shahe, proposed a deal: return Zhang Chulan, and he could leave unscathed. Shahe, however, declined. Shu San telekinetically lifted a massive boulder, offering a truce if Shahe agreed to certain terms. Shahe, ever playful, teased Shu San, hinting at more intimate encounters, preferably in bed. The colossal rock hurtled toward them but met its demise under Shahe's powerful punch. Feng Baobao joined the fray, slashing through the crowd of sexual maniacs. However, when she confronted Shahe, she was unexpectedly repelled. Shu San's telekinesis saved her, cautioning against rash actions. Shahe, using Zhang Chulan as leverage, challenged Shu San. How will you save Zhang Chulan? Shu San's calm response, merely, I'm counting on you, monkey, led to Zhang Chulan's sudden disappearance underground. Shahe's stomping retaliation caused the ground to collapse, revealing Zhang Chulan and his protector, the Earth Monkey, suspended in midair. Unfortunately, Shu San hadn't marked Zhang Chulan beforehand, rendering his rescue impossible. As Shahe attacked, the Earth Monkey shielded Zhang Chulan, only to be flung aside. Realizing her mistake, Shahe attempted to grasp Zhang Chulan, but Shu San and reinforcements arrived, forcing the partner to flee. Meanwhile, Feng Baobao questioned Zhang Chulan's impatience, wondering why he hadn't waited for her call. As she raised her knife to strike, Zhang Chulan felt no pain, only bliss. Baobao's blade held a tiny insect, a cursed parasite used by certain Shangxi families. It blocked Zhang Chulan's meridians, rendering his abilities useless. Zhang Chulan recalled a moment when he'd felt a sudden pain at the back of his neck during an intimate encounter with Yan Yan. He realized he'd been cursed. As Shu San returned, he inquired about Zhang Chulan's condition. Baobao explained that she'd comforted him, and Shu San instructed Zhang Chulan to wipe the blood from his mouth. Tomorrow, Baobao would take him to find Shu San.